Y'all, welcome to the conversation. Bridge the gap. This is your boy Tyquan the Don. We got MZK Worldwide. We got my man Zeku. Young king coming up. 305 Miami, Florida. You know what I'm saying? Representing Future Force, Monster Energy, throwing it down. You like what? 20 years old?
I just turned 20.
Hey, happy belated, bro.
Appreciate it, man.
This whole conversation is gonna be about making Breakin great again. All right?
Yeah,
We're gonna do it. Anybody that wants the shirt, shout out to Tongue Fan from Florida. MF
that's
Kid.
a dope shirt.
Hit up Tongue,
I need one of those shirts, Tongue.
Yeah. Tongue, let's build. Check it out. So yeah, man, I want to get you on, get into your mind, you know what I'm saying? And I'm sure other heads in the game want to hear you out as well. Because a lot of time, we be at jams and all that. But, people don't know our mindset like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's a great way with the platforms and everything, we can build, what have you. What people don't know is Zeku is like one of upcoming young cat in the game, out of USA, honestly, is you holding it down for real. You know what I mean?
Appreciate it.
People can disagree on how you break or what have you, it doesn't matter, but at the end of the day, you making noise. You know what I mean? And like hip hop, it's about that. It's about from nothing to something, and that you made your point. Like you a couple years ago, people probably like, who's Zeku? But now it's like, Zeku. You know what I mean? Even if you lose, you know what I mean? And so what I love about you is your battle mentality. You know what I mean? Because it reminds me of how we came up, the raw, I don't care who you are, you cross me, we get it in, you know what I mean? And then we can dab, we can build, what have you. I mean, what people don't know is you and I got it in, right? In Miami, you called me out, you know what I'm saying? Now we're here, we're building. Like we were going at it, you know what I'm saying? And I love that shit because that's the type of shit that we need in the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're like one of the upcoming young cat that have that mentality. Like, yo, who's nice in the cypher? I'm gonna go to war with him, even if win, lose, or draw. I'm just gonna go ham. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so
my mentality behind that is that I feel like when I first started breaking, once I was getting truly and deeply involved in the scene. Probably about 2 years ago, I realized that everybody was just on this right before the battle, shake hands, right after the battle, shake hands, mid-battle, shake hands. And I was like, okay, well, this doesn't sell. At the end of the day, we're trying to build something stable and something lucrative for competitive b-boys. Some b-boys don't like the fact that they have to perform at a bar mitzvah or perform at a birthday party in order to make ends meet, So you got to sell controversy, right? So the very first thing I want to address to everybody is this whole Victor situation. Me and Victor.
Let's talk about it.
Not this past weekend, but at freestyle session, we battled Squadron. Me and Sweet Pea. Shout out to Sweet Pea Rad Crew. We battled them, and everybody, they started posting videos like, oh, who won? Who did this? There was some trash talk going back and forth between me and Vic. At the end of the day, it's a battle, and I show that man respect at the end of the battle. People are like, oh, are y'all beefing? It takes two people to beef, okay?
Yeah.
If he has any issues, he's flirting because I'm not beefing back. Because at the end of the day, I respect what he does. I respect his plate of food that he has to eat at the end of the day. So I'm not trying to disrupt that. I'm not trying to come in between anybody's money, I'm just trying to create something different within the scene. And it's been taken the wrong way, Nobody can say I don't know how to win. Nobody can say I don't know how to lose, because regardless of the situation and the outcome, I give everybody my hand, and after the battle, I approach them. Anybody that has battled me can vouch for that. So that's my mentality.
Yeah. I mean, I don't say there's nothing wrong. I mean, for the people that keep saying, I don't know, if people are saying beef or whatever, but there's no such thing as dance beef. If you got real beef, like where I'm coming from, like if you say beef, it's not on dance level no more. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't no breakdance beef.
Yeah, ain't like breakdance beef. Like, nah, man. There's no such thing as dance beef. If either we balance, it's just like competitive. Like if you go play basketball or football, you do a pickup game. It's you're gonna be competitive. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
So just like breaking, like we can, like again, you and I are building right here. But I remember you called me out, and it's war. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and I'm sure
yeah.
people watch that battle, they would think that me and you are like beefing. It's like, nah,
Yeah.
this is how we battle. This is how I battle, and that's what I love about you for the new generation is like that battle mentality, that hungry, raw in your face, let's get it in type deal. And I love that shit. How we came
Appreciate it,
up
man.
was on that shit, and we can show love afterwards. Like, damn, it's about honoring each other at the end of the day, right?
Of course,
And
of
so
course.
if you come at me raw, that bring the best out of me. You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure.
Vice versa. So that's it. I don't think there's nothing wrong with the way you battle. People just not used to it, I guess,
Of
because
course.
the scene nowadays is not the same. Is everybody just trying to, be a performer instead of a battler. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
You can. I think battling at the end of the day, battling is a performance. You are putting on a performance for the crowd that's there. You're battling
right,
whoever's in
of
front of
course.
you, but the viewers, you're performing for them. They don't truly understand what's going on. Now,
Right.
another thing that I want to talk about is professionalism within the scene, which is one of the biggest things that I push with my fan base. There is a lot of b-boys that you put in front of a camera and they can't express themselves. That's another thing that I feel that we should be pushing within the scene, because now that we have recognition from the Youth Olympics and multi-billion-dollar companies like Monster Energy and Tiger Palm and all these other companies and corporations that are pouring and investing their money and their time into what we do, I think the smallest thing that we can do for them is be able to market. A lot of us aren't marketable, and it's because we want to keep that raw b-boy. I want to go into these jams with my ripped up sweatpants from 1995, and it's like, no, bro. We gotta change the look on us.
Yo.
I don't tell a lot of people, but I have my own facility where I teach kids, right? And when the parents come in, they're like, oh, I don't feel secure with having my child learning this because, when I was coming up, this was for gangs, this was gang related. And then I have to sit back and be like, no, listen, everything's changed. It's not the same, It's a career now. It's a career. There's a couple b-boys at these events that people have no idea. They're making a living off of this. A true, honest living, and they're living comfortable. And it's because they're marketable. They're not cocky off the floor. They know when to turn that switch off and on. They know how to express themselves. They can sit down. They can approach a business meeting with not that b-boy mentality, And one thing that when I was speaking with Gravity, you can have that b-boy mentality when you come into these meetings, but you can't have that b-boy slang, You can go and battle the Nikes and and all those brands, but you have to be able to, elaborate and express yourself correctly, not like so I like the brand, so I want to work with it.
Yes.
They're gonna be like, dude, a lot of people like our brand. What do you bring to the table? Why should we sponsor you? Why should we pour in our time and our money into you? So that's definitely something that I think we should work towards.
Oh yeah, it's very important. I'm glad, as a young head like you already understanding that process, and more young heads need to understand that. Yeah, professionalism goes a long way. Is you got to be pro. When pro, just like all the professionals in in basketball, football, like they go ham on a battlefield, right? On a football field, basketball, what have you. But then you see them suited up, in conferences, what have you. They know how to talk. They know how to talk to the media. I mean, I'm sure you and I are talking like this with yo, what up?
Of course.
The corporate meeting is a whole different level,
Because right now we're relating. What we're doing right now is we're relating. Our viewers, we have a certain audience that we have to relate to, which is with anything. Just like you said, if I were to have right now an interview with ESPN, I probably watch my words a little bit more, but I'm talking to Tyquan from MZK, you one of the dudes from the scene, so we're just gonna sit back and kick it and just have a conversation.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
Exactly. We're not gonna say, know what I mean, or yo, what up, like what I just said. You know what I'm saying? Like none of that is, you shouldn't be talking like that in a professional corporate meeting. Especially when you try to present your brand or you as a b-boy and show them how your numbers are and as a product, right?
Definitely.
And so it's very important to understand that aspect, and that's a great thing that you're. What I love about you is you know how to turn the switch on and off, right? And so tell the people, is that something that you learned or is that something that just came natural to you?
Man, honestly, you see me now and I'm, super calm and collect, and I'm this little white boy that, can't, it looks like I was fed with a silver spoon, gated community. Man, I grew, you were just in Miami. I'm not sure with the conversations that you had with, but man, I was raised in La Havana my whole life, which is probably one of the worst neighborhoods that you could live in here in Miami. Man, I was probably the only light-skinned kid in my neighborhood. And, I come from being competitive my whole life because, man, in school I was fighting all the time. I was competing my whole life to just get through school, and the only people that I could, express myself to and be like, hey, this is going on, is my parents. So they taught me like, hey, you need to be able to defend yourself with your attitude, the way that you present yourself to people. So it's definitely something that you're already born with, but you need to know how to activate it. There's a lot of people who are born with talents and special hidden things within them, but they need to learn how to activate it. They need to have that one conversation for them to actually sit back and acknowledge it and be able to start, activating it.
Right. So how do you get into breaking, first of all? Like,
hey, I don't know, but free my man 6ix9ine.
He got sentenced, right? 32 years?
Yeah, that dude's funny.
Shit got deep.
I got into Breakin by watching You Got Served. You Got Served. That was what. Yeah, I used to play ball before, and then me and my boy Fusion, he's in my crew. I used to play ball.
We gotta get it in one of these days, bro.
Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? I'll be playing. That's how I hurt my knee. My right knee's messed up right now playing ball for 2 hours straight. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, people have no idea, but freestyle session, man, I had 2 really big blisters in the ball of my foot on both sides. You can ask anybody on the team.
I heard.
And I had to put tape. I was top rocking on the edges on my feet because I had to play ball the day before. And then
your hands are broken too, right? Or something? You injured your hand or something?
I got a broken knuckle. Look at it right there.
Oh, see?
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. And I got a torn meniscus. Fully torn.
Pay to them dues. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I tell people, man, that's why I take this battle stuff real serious. It's not people, I compete for fun. Yeah, I compete for fun, but I have fun doing it the way that I do it. Because at the end of the day, this is what I want to do. This is what I chose to dictate my life. I don't work a 9 to 5. I've never had a regular job. I've been hustling since I was a kid. Like, I used to go to cafeterias and do magic tricks. I used to wait till the dudes they used to get drunk enough for me to actually be able to fool them with these magic tricks and get $3, $4, $5 out of them. So when I break and I'm battling you, I'm hustling you out of your mentality. You lose to yourself. A lot of times I battle dudes who are so much better than me and they're just losing to themselves. Because it's mental. It's mental before it's physical.
Right. I agree with you. That's the art of battle, man. So you start out, you got served, you got into the game. So how do you get into Future Force? Can you tell us a little about Future Force?
Yeah, definitely. So when we got into breaking, one of our current crew members, Wings, he grew up with me in Fusion, and all 3 of us started breaking on the same day when we saw that movie. So then he was the oldest one of the group. He had to go get a job when he turned 18. We were about 13 when he was 18. And he met another cat from here called Static, and they were working together at a mechanic shop, and they were like, so what do you do? And Wings was like, oh, I break dance with these two kids from my neighborhood. And Stat was like, damn, where? He was like, well, there's this place in Miami that everybody trains at. So then he took us there, and we went to go train, and we were just breaking. And then I met Fiend. He's still a current crew member. He's not active, but he's still a crew member. His name is Jose Garcia, Fiend. And man, he started driving me around everywhere to all the practice spots, picking me up. And then I started meeting everybody, the crew leader, D, the co-captain, Jet, everybody. So I mean everybody. And actually I was talking to Static about it the other day. Man, I remember they picked me up for practice pretty like five or 10 times in a row. I didn't miss one day. And then the 11th time, I called up Fiend, which is the normal ride. I was like, yo, Fiend, can you come get me for practice? I was sorry, little bro, I can't get you. And I was like, wait, what? I was like, why? He was like, oh, I got busy. I got work. I'm tired. I was like, man. So I started calling everybody. Man, I was crying. Like, I cried because I couldn't go to practice. So from day one, and anybody in the crew can vouch for it, man, since day one, I've just poured out, like, my heart and soul into the dance, But people say I don't love it, man. I love it. I go ham for this, And so after that, I was breaking with them for about 6 months, 8 months, and then finally they battled me in. I started off as the lowest member possible. I didn't have nothing. I just had a whole lot of heart. I would just train, man. I just trained every day, every single day. I was training at 5 a.m. before school. I was training at 3 p.m. after school, and then I would train at 8 p.m. after school as well. So it was serious, man. I took it like a sport. I really did, Moy said it the best, create like an artist and train like an athlete. We're creative. We're creative athletes. That's what we do, And in my opinion, we are a sport regardless of what anybody thinks, my opinion, because what we do is physical. We have to, one of the reasons why most B-boys are injured is because they have no recovery methods. They don't recover. These dudes practice 4, 5, 6 hours. They get down. They don't think about no ice bath. They don't think about an Epsom salt bath. They don't watch their diet. These dudes are smoking and drinking, and it's like, dude, you got to watch yourself. You got to watch your health because, yeah, it's an art. We're getting creative and we're getting down and we're creating all these things, but you're still spinning on your head. You're still dropping on your back. You're still bending your body in weird ways. You got to treat your body like an athlete, man.
Yeah, I agree. I can relate to that because, I came from a sport background before into breaking. So, I played basketball, football, what have you, in high school and all that. And that's a way for me getting out of the streets, you know what I'm saying? And keep me disciplined as well, But yeah, coming to breaking, you got to train, in and out every day, like as a sport, but you being creative, with it and being an artist on that front. So, like injury right now, I got my right knee. I'm not going to go crazy, I'm just going to do therapy and all that. And especially my age, I got to ice it and all that. Like somebody called me up like, hey, I'm going to take the L. All right. see you, when I'm better. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of time cats be like, nah, that pride take over. And then they start bowing like crazy. And all of a sudden it's like, damn, mess your knee even more, and the last thing somebody wants is a knee injury. That's the worst injury a B-boy or B-girl can have is a knee injury. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So, you got to take care of yourself, people out there, you can party, drink, whatever, what have you, but, watch it,
Definitely, man. Take care of yourselves.
Yeah, you got to eat right, train up. Don't drink like every day. Don't smoke like every day. Like, come on, man.
set the example. Set the example. To me, I feel not that it's a shame, but it's like, man, I'm 20. I should be following somebody else. And I feel like I have some adults that even look up to me because of the way that I take this break and stuff. I feel like I'm put in this position right now, and my goal in breaking is to change the way breaking is viewed. I don't think that I'm the one, but I do feel as if I have that platform right now, and that's what I'm using it for. Man, around me growing up, man, I grew up around all that stuff. I could have easily been caught up in all that. easily,
Right.
easily, you
Right.
know. And thankfully, I had my mom who installed those morals in me and just guided me on the right path. And she just told me, if you want to do something, just focus and stay on that path, and you'll come out successful. So
Word. So how many members are there in Future Force right now?
man, we got a lot, dude. We
A
got
lot?
we got about 20 something members for sure.
All from Miami, right?
We have one that's in New York, B-Boy Nightcrawler.
Right.
Shout out to B-Boy Nightcrawler. He lives in New York right now. We have another one, Davo, in Argentina. We have another one that lives in Atlanta. We have one that lives in LA, and then the rest of us, I'm pretty sure we're here. I might be wrong on some of it, but we got like 20 members, man. They're not all active, but a crew is family, So
Exactly.
regardless if you're breaking or not, you were still part of this family.
Exactly.
So you're still considered a crew member.
That's dope. See, and I think I'm glad you said that, because I think a lot of people kind of might have this misconception of you, like, oh, he don't know what the crew is, he's just monster. You know what I'm saying? But your foundation is that, right? Like,
of course.
Your mentor in Future Force kind of, school you on those gems and about how it be fam and all that. And that's the thing. And Monsters just gave you a platform to do Zeku. You know what I'm saying? And leveraging Monsters' platform to push your people as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I think a lot of people think, oh, he's Monster and that's it. But it's not. He's leveraging as an artist, right? As an artist to leverage Monster's platform to push whatever he's about. It's not the other way around. It's not Monster telling him he got to change and he this and that. No, it's Zeku being an artist, leveraging his clout, him as a personal brand, and leveraging Monster's platform to push whatever purpose he have, right? Whatever personal goals and his crew, his family's goals onto Monster's platform. So yeah, I want to say that because I feel like a lot of people have a misconception of he's Monster and and that's how he how it is. So I just want to say that, and I can see your mentality, on that sense. As far as the Young Buck, I saw the Young Buck in Future Force this past Saturday, right?
Dougie,
Yo, nasty. You know what I mean?
Right?
How old are they?
I believe Dougie is 15. The strong one, he's 15, and is 16.
Yo, he diesel, bro.
that man is 15. 15. That man got a bigger chest than me, bro.
I was like, bro, you play middle linebacker or something? But yo, they nasty. They on a come up,
Definitely, man. They're right now. Their teacher, the person who introduced them into breaking, is Jet, the co-leader of the crew. It wasn't my duty, but I felt as if they were going in the same path as I was, and when I was coming up, there was no kid even close to my age that I could have been like, Mom, look, I want to be a pro b-boy. This guy did it, so I'm gonna follow him. I had to tell my mom, I'm gonna do this. Shout out to my mom, she's watching. I love you, Mom. Thank you for being
the moms.
I told my mom, like, I'm gonna be a pro b-boy, and she looked at me like, man, you better shut up and get in your room and start doing your homework. Ain't tripping. So
right.
I wanted to be able to help them out, because when I spoke with them and I said, what do you guys want to do? And they said, well, we want to be pro b-boys, but what's a pro b-boy? Right now, a pro b-boy is the sponsored athletes. We are under contracts as pro athletes, which is amazing. Who would have ever thought it would have reached that point?
Right.
Because there's a difference between pro b-boys and true b-boys. That whole true b-boy, so it's difference. So all you b-boys out there, don't get hurt about that. So they were like, we want to be pro b-boys. And I said, okay, well, you got to do this, that, and the third. And you got to follow what I'm telling you guys to do, because it worked out. It worked out for me. It might not work out for you, but we can just try it out and see if it works. And if you really, really want it as bad as you claim that you want it, you'll figure out a way if this way doesn't work. So they're on their road up, man. They're real good kids. They got big hearts, and that's the start. if I see that you'll be loyal to the people who have taught you and the people who have brought you up, then that's all I need to be able to be like, all right, man, let me take you up. Because a lot of people are like, oh, the money and the fame changes you. It doesn't change you. Fame don't change you. There's just more cameras around to expose you. You've been that person since the beginning. So
word.
So
Hey, that's some wisdom right there, y'all. That's dope, bro. With being as young as you are, you got a lot of knowledge, and that's how you're successful nowadays, right? And keep it moving, man.
Yeah.
As far as Monster, right? How did you get into Monster? I'm sure Moy hit you up, but how did that came about?
Actually, this is a good one. So I battled Moy at the Red Bull BC1 North American Finals. I don't remember what year, but I battled him that year, and I was like super sure that I'm telling you, I've been battling, believing in myself that I was gonna win these events since like the day one. So I told myself I was gonna win that event without a doubt. That wasn't gonna happen, but I lost to him first round, and I went home. I lost, and it was heavy. It stung. Man, it was bad. I went back to the hotel. I was like, damn, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? I train hard. I eat right. I take care of myself, and I said, you know what, man? I'm going to hit Moy up and see if I can go train with him. Because if he beat me, that means that he has something that I don't have. I'm missing something that he must have because he came out the better man that night. So I contacted Moy and I told him, it was an honor to battle you. Because after the battle, he got booed. And, that I didn't like that. Because at the end of the day, that's another thing that I see is when people lose to somebody else, they go and they battle the opponent. In reality, that guy just went out there and did what he did. If you're going to boo anybody, you're going to boo the judges. You're not going to boo the competitor because the competitor just wants to go out there and do his job. He's not responsible for the decision, And he was super open about it. He invited me to Houston. I flew myself out and I stayed at his house and I met his family, beautiful family. Man, Moy is just an amazing person all around. I'm pretty sure everybody knows that by now. So I went back probably about 4 or 5 times on my own. I was street performing and I invested all that street performance money into going to Texas and going to Philly to train with Hannibal. And probably a year in, Moy it was at Silverback the second year, I believe. They were like, hey, we're missing a member. We need somebody to jump on the squad. And I said, all right, let's do it. And I jumped on the squad, and man, thankfully I did what I did, and I impressed the right people. So it was good. And from there on, just got the phone call. They're like, oh, you want to be a part of the team? I was like, of course, without a doubt. And I would never, ever go back on that decision. Monster solidified my career. This is where I wanted to be. So big shout out to Monster. Definitely one of the top companies, are not the top company that's investing money into breaking. There's no corporate man on top of us. You need to do this. You need to be here. You follow these rules. It's super lenient. They're extremely helpful. They give us total freedom of what we want to do and total freedom over our artistry and our social media, everything that we do. So definitely a blessing to be a part of Monster. And to everybody out there that's saying, oh, you guys are just a dream team. You guys are just a team. Nah, man. Honestly, we treat each other like crew. We check up on each other. We're hitting up. Everybody gets along with everybody. We go to each other's houses. So definitely, you're just mad that you lose to us. That's it. But we're a crew. It's no dream team.
Right. Yeah. It's just based on assumption, right?
Yeah.
It was the same thing in mid-2000 when MZK started resembling. We just like me, Phantom, K Mel, Gatsu, like all of us were just from different city, country, and then we just got together and just start battling and building and all that. And people think, oh, they're a super crew, they this and that. And I'm like, no, but we fam, like we check up on each other like all the time, and we build, and we use technology to our advantage,
Of course.
And so like, yeah. People always going to assume, from the outside, they don't know how the operation is from the inside, So I mean, honestly, let him talk, you know.
I love it, man. I love it. It's part of the game. It's my favorite part of the game.
That's part of the game. It's part of the process, and let's talk about that. You know, I'm sure there's cats that throw shots at you and all that. I seen Zebra, Supreme Beings. He always throwing shots at you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm sure he's watching. Big shots to Zebra.
Yeah. But listen, man, that there's some people, like I said, people don't know how to do it. So some people don't know how to do it.
So I guess my question was, like, if you see Zebra, it would be like, y'all gonna get it in? Like, let's get it in, or what? Let's be truthful here, man. Like, let's.
You see, if I'm gonna speak about somebody, I'm gonna speak about somebody who is actually going to help elevate, and speaking upon that person won't help elevate, I offered an expo battle. I offered an expo battle of $5,000. $5,000 on his end, $5,000 on my end. It's probably like 2 years ago. That didn't go through.
Word.
If you're not gonna give me no exposure, I'm gonna give you exposure, then you got to pay for that type of platform. So that dude, man, I shake that dude's hand. I have some ice cream with him. That, like I said, it takes two people to beef.
Right? Yeah.
I'm not
saying beef. Like, don't get it twisted. When I see, that's what I'm saying. Like, I guess in dance, like in hip hop, like, I don't know, in dance.
Because there was beef though. There was beef though.
Oh, there was beef? Oh, yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
okay.
There was beef.
There's the background. Okay. I thought it was just, healthy competition. I didn't know.
Nah. You see, healthy competition is me and Victor. Victor and I. That's healthy competition from my understanding. Me and that dude, that got personal, That got real personal, to the fact where I was like, you see, you're doing it wrong, and people, that's what I'm saying, get the misconception of, this kid doesn't come from that. This kid comes from, a great little family. He's not, and I don't promote that. I don't promote violence. That's not my thing. But what we do, it does come from that. So that's another. I was talking to Morris, and he was saying, man, you do it how it's supposed to be. The trash talking is correct. The approach is correct. It's not disrespectful, and that's the way it should be. Like, I don't call nobody no biter. Everybody's calling people biters all the time, and you only do that when you're losing. You only do that when you're losing, and that is super disrespectful in what we do, because there's people that sit here and they create and they try to come up with their own thing, and you're over here calling them a biter just because you're losing. You're creating something that isn't true, which is what happened to me on my come up, man. I had people in my scene, my very own scene, calling me a biter and all this stuff, and making videos and spreading it all over the internet. And it was like, there was people that I had to meet, and they were like, oh, you're that kid. And then when they met me, they're like, dude, you're not a bad guy after. And it was just these bitter old dudes who were just mad that there was an upcoming kid, and that's an issue that's happening now. That, man, I was 13, 14 years old beefing with, like really beefing. Like, I'm talking about, like, we were about to fight, like 26, 27-year-old dudes. It was bad. Yes, it was really bad. So, my come up, honestly, I think I've had the roughest come up as a b-boy. I honestly don't know how I got here. I have no idea how I made it this far, but I had the hardest come up as a b-boy. Honestly, to this day, I'm still the most hated b-boy, which is cool. I love it, because regardless of the fact, they follow me, so it's cool, and I promote what I promote. And when people meet me, they realize, like, this guy's not a bad dude, He's not. I don't do anything bad, man. I really don't. I don't party. I don't smoke. I don't drink. All I do is train, run my business, and make sure my family's good. That's it. That's all I do, 24/7.
Word. Yeah, a lot of people. Yeah, I don't drink or smoke either. See, a lot of people might think, oh, Tyquan, he's raw, whatever. But nah, I don't drink or smoke. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's word up, man. I mean, that's the thing, though. That whole whatever you just said, it's part of the process of being a b-boy, though. You know what I'm saying? It's part of the process. Either people can call you a biter, or you're whack, and vice versa, right? It's always gonna have that competitive mindset. You want to welcome that, though. You want to have that experience as a b-boy, because without it, then go to ballet school. You know what I'm saying? But in this game, if you want to be part of this, you got to be ready for those type of different experiences and know how to control your emotion as well. You know what I'm saying? And so you want to welcome that, right? Because when I was coming up, Chicago was one of my main rivalry. You know, in Chicago, that's like a gang bang city. You know, you coming to Chicago, you gotta know. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't wear your hat like this and this. Like, but I went to war with them. You know, and that's the thing is I welcome all that. You know, and you gotta know it comes with territory. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And as a B-boy, you want to have those rivalries. You know, we had it with California. Whenever we go to California always get it in at us. You know, we'll trade words, what have you, and then from gamblers and you know all the big name crews like we always get it in. You know, and it's part of the process, man. And then nowadays we just look back and laugh about it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure when y'all 10 years from now, y'all gonna look back like, yo, we did our thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's part of the process. Enjoy it though. Enjoy this whole experience that you're having.
Yeah. I do, man. I love it. I really do. I really do. I love it. I love all the trash talk. I love all the support. I love getting robbed. I love losing. I love winning. I love it all. It's part of what we do. Like you said, you know, it's part of the game, and I'm not ashamed to lose. I hold my head up high regardless of the outcome, you know, because I love coming back to my gym and just training, you know, just everything, that whole process, man. Honestly, it fuels me. I love what I do. I chose this to be my career because I love it. I don't work a single day in my life because it's what I enjoy to do. I don't chase the money. I chase what I love, and when you chase what you love, the money comes. It's just how it works. If you love making pencils, man, make pencils every day. I promise you, you're gonna just make some money making those pencils. It just happens. It's the rule of life.
Yeah, of course, bro. I mean, I think a lot of sometimes people fail because they just focus on the money, right?
Yeah, big time.
And they don't have any inspiration. If their inspiration is just money, then you're gonna end up being whacked, like burnt out, you know. But if your purpose is like you have a purpose, right? And then you keep going day in day out. I don't care, you know. I'm gonna put my time and effort and everything that I do, and then here you are. You know, I'm sure you're gonna keep going, right? So
of course.
With that being said, what's Zeku's future goals? I mean, do you have like short-term goals and then 5-year goal, and you know, what do you see yourself, you know, in the near future?
So right now, the facility that I'm building, Surge in Miami, it's not a school. So we are a training facility for B-boys who feel they have reached the plateau and now they want to take it to the next level. And I came up with no promoter, no nothing, no backing. It was through pure and true hard work and dedication and consistency. So what we do here is we teach you from the ground up how to be a pro. You know, we teach you how to speak. We teach you how to present yourself. We show you ways that can elevate your breaking. We don't necessarily teach anybody anything unless it's requested, of course. But our main goal is to help change the image of breaking, like I said before. So my goal is to be the poster child of that. You know, and if I don't get any credit for it, I'm completely fine with it. But the day I see a B-boy sign $1 million contract, I'm gonna be real happy. I'll be good. I'll be straight, because something that I see a lot on the scene is you got these OG B-boys who feel like they're owed the world. And they're owed the world. It's like, yo, you're not owed the world. You're not. It's be happy. If you truly love this dance, you don't want anything back from it. You don't want anything back from it because you did it out of love. When you do stuff out of love, you don't ask for anything in return. So that's why you got those OGs that are around with a big old smile, because they're just happy to see the evolution and the growth, and they support it. So my long-term goal is to just create a living out of breaking, competitive breaking for B-boys. Competitive breaking, because, man, what we do is beautiful, man. The trash talking, the getting each other's faces, executing the move, everybody going crazy, like people chanting your name, bro. That man, I don't know, man. I get goosebumps when I talk about that stuff. Like, it's ill, bro. I love it. So I want somebody else to feel this way about breaking, you know, about competitive breaking. I want somebody to feel like that. So that's my goal. Make it something that people are drawn into it. Like I want to be a competitive b-boy. That's what I want to do, you know.
Right. And so, have you heard of? With that being said, because it seems like it's kind of aligned with what Dizzy, you know, Dizzy from Supernatural.
Yeah.
He's been doing the plan, you know, and having basically the whole concept is the value goes to the artists, right?
Yeah.
Building fan base and selling tickets for the fans to go see you battle, you know, and like you said earlier, like screaming your name and with the poster, like, yo, Zeku, like the ladies, like, hey, you know. Nowadays, the current model is, I guess, the main population is just the b-boy and b-girls that go to jams and watching these battles, right?
Yeah.
But we just need a general population to come to these battles, and I think brothers like yourself, like I say, Gravity, like, hey, it's your generation that has to do it, you know, to work, you know, in ways, and then with you know somebody like me, Moy, you know, there's cats in our generation that understand and can adapt to the new ways as well, and then hopefully y'all take it to the next level. You know what I'm saying? And so what Dizzy is saying is like, yo, create your fan base and organize your own battle, right? And bring your fan base to buy your tickets to go see you battle. You know? Do you like that type concept?
I do. I feel like I'm not fully invested in what he's doing. I don't have all the knowledge over what he's building. I've heard things here and there from Gravity. Me and Gravity real close, and he tells me, and I think what he's doing is great. I don't know, man. Like honestly, it's super dope, but it's not organic. Like I've seen the trash talk, you know, that they've had, and me, if I were to see that, it'd be like a WWE match, you know? And a WWE match and a UFC match are totally different because it's organic. You know? That trash talk and that conflict is real, you know? So don't get me wrong, WWE makes millions of dollars. So he's on his way to make millions of dollars, but I want to be a part of something like truthful, you know, like true beef. Like it should have been like New York and LA. Like, what is New York? Why is New York beefing with Taiwan? Like, them dudes probably never even been to Taiwan. How you gonna beef with them? So
yeah, I think that can happen in the U.S. I think if it comes to the U.S., I think there's going to be a lot of organic rivalry.
Definitely,
like Miami,
definitely.
Even Florida versus Texas, right? I feel like Texas is like one of the strong scenes right now.
There's true conflict there, though. There's people that don't like each other from there. You know? And that right there is my, how do you say, my difference. Well, what I think should be different. Another thing in events, you know, post-conferences, pre-conferences, the B-boys are available to the public 24/7. We're walking around with the general public, ciphering and stuff like that. Like, what makes it so special, right? You can't just go to a UFC event and sit down. You're going to sit down next to, you know, Brian Ortega, or you're going to sit down next to Brock Lesnar. Like, no, them dudes got their own section. You know, they're treated like superstars. And at events, we're treated worse than the people who bought tickets to get in. Because, you know, and that's sad. I've a lot of events, I hear people complain like, oh, the security or these people. And it's like, I was about to go on and compete. You know, without the B-boys, there's no event. There's no event. So but we don't respect ourselves. So before somebody respects you, you have to respect yourself. And it's that small percentage of B-boys that don't respect themselves that ruin it for the rest. You know, even for the showbiz, when you have a price tag and they hit you up, they're like, oh, but little dude from across the street said that he'll do it for this much. And, you know, what we do is so amazing that the most simplest moves can still sell. So, definitely what Dizzy's doing is on a path to something very successful and something that's
I think he's trying to get the ball rolling to change that mindset, right? And I always been educational about this is adding value to you as a b-boy, because or be girl, right? Is you gotta treat yourself as an entity or entrepreneur mindset, right?
Definitely, definitely.
Is like Zeku is like a Zeku LLC. You know what I'm saying? Like he's running his own small business, and if he, and right now he's partner up with Monster, not Monster owning him. He's partnering up with Monster. And I think a lot of people think, once you sign on to Monster or Red Bull or Nike, like they own you. It's like, no, that's not the case. So yeah, add more value to your name, and you can get more than one sponsor. It's not just Monster and you stop there. If what's that brand that you like, the shoe brand that you like? Vans. Hey, you never know. One day,
that's in the works. That's in the works.
Hey, boom, get Vans to sponsor you, and that's the thing, man. Leverage yourself, and leverage these events. I've been telling a lot of people, you gotta leverage these events,
Definitely.
Because at the end of the day, you go and battle, you go home, and that's it. Like you really didn't, you just basically went and battled, but then you didn't really create content for yourself.
Yeah, that's different. And another thing, AB was the end of the year. Taxes are coming. Do your taxes, because I know a lot of you don't do your taxes. So, yeah, definitely. Like right now, what's the highest amount of viewers you've had on this conversation? On all the ones that you've had?
About, I think 1,000, 1,500.
In one sitting, there was 1,000, 1,500 people.
Oh, in one sitting?
I'm saying, like, when you're sitting down right now, people before me, when you look at the people that are watching right now, what's the most that you've had?
Oh, I think yours, and I think Born.
Okay.
But and I think right now there's 43. So
and it hasn't dropped below 40 since we started.
No,
it's been going up and down, and it's because of what I've created and what you've created.
Right.
We've created something interesting. You can't just get anybody to sit in here and it's gonna stay at 40. I have things to talk about. I've marketed myself in a way where when I got something to say, people are gonna they want to listen. Because one thing that we don't have in breaking is that marketing, that connection to the athlete. They just see us dance. Man, I posted a video of me talking and somebody goes, "It's the first time I heard this dude talking." It's like, damn, that's crazy. It's true though, because there's no relation. And the reason why people connect to athletes is because they follow their everyday life. Oh, LeBron James suffers from this, or LeBron James has these family problems. Oh, damn, dude, I got those problems too. Oh, that's my dude. I'm gonna start following him. You feel what I'm saying? So I forgot. I think I have like 25K or something like that. But my engagement and my followers are exact. I have 25K engagement. There's people that have 25,000 followers and they have 3,000 follower engagement because they posted one video that did good and they blew up. Nah, you can relate to what I do. Not everybody, but some people can relate to what I do. And you can look at my page to just relate, for motivation, for comedy. It's because it's who I am, If I were to just post videos of me killing it, that's a boring ass page, I posted Monster sent me a bike, and I posted a video of me just riding bike in my gym, talking smack, And it doesn't do very well, but the people who do see it, they're like, oh, this dude has a funny side to him, and then they relate to that. So but it's stuff that I do without thinking about it. It's not until I sit down and speak to you and be like, oh, damn, that's true. I did relate to these people. I did relate to this audience. So it's learning how to cater to the people around you. You have to cater to your audience. And if you feel like it's hard for you to cater to the audience, then that means you've been putting out a fake image the whole time. Because it's not hard for me to do what I've been doing because it's who I am.
Word.
Yeah. And for those who say, man, do you really drink Monster? I drink it every day. I drink it every day. You're always like, oh, it's so unhealthy. Like, oh, okay, good for you.
Shout outs to everybody that's on our live feed right now. You know what I mean?
Appreciate y'all. We've been like 50 deep this whole time. I don't know how long we've been in this conversation. But I love y'all.
Big shout to everybody, man, for joining, And that's the thing, like people gotta understand, B-boys and B-girls or crews, y'all gotta start creating contents, man. Be engaged with your people, And so, like, I feel like a lot of time, B-boys and B-girls, they just get lazy with it. Meaning they train, but then they don't do nothing else, Like somebody like you, though, beside training, you always on the go doing this and that, being engaged with your fans and your supporters, and so they always, support you. Yeah. So that's dope, bro. You leading the way, that's what we need in the game. More type of those mentality, not just about winning, but the whole process, man. And so with that, ever since you started to now, were there any? I'm sure there's many bumps along the way. What are like the three main bumps along the way that you feel like, damn, like that really taught me, a lesson?
I mean, I've had a lot. It
don't have to be three, it can be one or what have,
There's been two that were really like, it put me in a tough spot where I was like, damn, like I don't know what to do, and I've always been that. I've always been the individual that people look back at like, yo, what do we do? As a young age, when I was street performing, man, I was the one doing the talk show, doing the leap, and paying 26-year-old dudes. Like a little 14, 15-year-old kid was like, yo, you're not getting paid today because you weren't on point. So, I've always been looked at as the leader of the pack, and just not by choice though. It was just everybody just looked at me that way. And when I think it was like two years ago, I might be wrong. I think my brother's watching. Shout out to my older brother, man. If it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be where I'm at today. Love you, bro. He almost died, man. He was in a hospital for 3 months. Something pretty bad happened to him, and we weren't in that. We've never been in a very stable financial state, my family. So I didn't know what to do, and he was in the hospital for 3 months. I was traveling. I had to leave, because I had to keep helping out the family and putting food on everybody's plate. And it was at that point where I was like, man, I don't know if I could keep breaking, because what if something like this happens again, or happens to my mom, or happens to my dad? It's tough when life really, really just punches you in the mouth. And my brother was my dad. My brother was my dad till I was 15. I know my dad till I was 15, and he technically raised me with my mom. And it's like he really pushed me into breaking. And at that moment, I felt like what he just pushed me into can't get him out of what he's going through. So, I at that point, honestly, I didn't know what to do. I was like, I don't know if I should keep breaking. I don't know if I should just follow the normal society and go to school and become a lawyer. And because I didn't know what to do. And there was times that we got evicted out of our house, man. Just come home from school, and they're like, oh, we gotta leave. Like we gotta go. Like that's it. We got one more weekend. It's time to ride. And man, it was those times that I would sit back and be like, damn, man, this is not gonna work. This is not going to work. And that's why I'm super grateful, and I'm truly blessed to be a part of Monster, man, because they've helped out in the most major way that they have no idea. They have no idea that I'm able to see a situation going on in my family and be able to be like, nah, I got it. It's on me. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna take care of us. And I'm not rich or nowhere near being rich, but I've been investing my money into the right things to one day be able to tell my mom like, hey, you're not going to work no more. Like that's it. Like you're not going to work no more. Or tell my brother like, yo, like you're not gonna go to work no more. Like that's my goal. My goal. I trained super hard for Silverback this year. I'm talking about crazy, like crazy. And I got injured. I broke my knuckle 2 days before I flew out, and I tore my meniscus. And my goal was to win silverback and grab that 15,000 and put a down payment on my mom's house. That was my goal, you know. And so when you see me out there, I'm not battling for me, because people are like, oh, you're 20, you got a long time. Don't worry about it. You got a long time. Yeah, but my mom's not 20. My dad's not 20. My grandparents aren't 20. I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for them. You know?
That's love.
I feel like I'm their way out. And I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that 100%. You know, I grind for them and I do what I do for them. So, yeah.
Got a lot of responsibility, you know? And wow, man, thanks for sharing that, you know? And that's the thing, that's the whole point of, you know, me doing this type of stuff is that's why I call it bridge the gap, because I feel like sometimes we're disconnected. A lot of people, but when we get to the human level, that's when you can relate, right?
Yeah.
And definitely. What you broke down there, and that's why I like to ask, you know, these type of questions, because I want people to relate. You know,
of course.
Besides, we can be mortal enemies, you know, on the battlefield, what have you, but man, you know, I don't care if you're my rival, what have you, but like, yo, that speaks volume of what you just said, you know, and I'm sure they can relate, because I'm sure a lot of people in Bigo, we came from nothing, right? Majority of us, especially in the USA, right? I don't know about Europe or in Asia, but you know, especially in USA, especially, you know, all the big name cats like K-Mel, you know, like more, you know, we all came from the bottom.
Hardship, man.
Yeah,
the struggle is real.
The struggle is real, and for somebody like you, for the new generation to have that same struggle, and I can relate just to hearing from you, like, wow, you know, you kind of stuck, you know, like, wow, that, you know, I kind of sat back and really listened, you know what I'm saying? And hopefully the viewers out there, once I show this on YouTube, or share it after this conversation on my IG story, they can really like sit down, like, wow, there's another side of Zeku that, you know, I didn't know about, you know, and that's my whole point of this, the purpose of this, you know. Yo, we're going to end. I'm going to